Rasulullah, hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah, hayya ala falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah. Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We begin. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah alladhi nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. فمن يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا رسول الله وهو الخاتم الانبياء والمرسلين وبعد. Dear brothers, dear sisters, this is interpreted from our original language of Arabic into English as follows: that surely all praise belongs to Allah. We praise Him. We seek His help. We ask His forgiveness. And it is on Allah alone that we rely. We seek refuge with Allah from the evils of ourselves and our own bad deeds. For there is not one that could misguide the one that Allah has guided. As for the one that Allah has left astray, there is no one to guide. And we bear witness that there is no God but Allah without partner, la sharika lah. And we further bear witness that Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, huwa khatam al-nabi, that Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, is the seal of the prophets. And we ask Allah to rain His blessings and favor upon all prophets and messengers throughout time. We greet you, dear brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This greeting by the grace of Allah is called Tahiyatul Jannah, the greeting of paradise. So by the grace of Allah, we have answered His call, which is Fas'a'u ila dhikrillah, hurry to the remembrance of Allah. This is part of paradise. As-salam. The remembrance of Allah brings about a spirit of peace, which is a part of paradise, a part of the hereafter, a part of the now. We brothers and sisters, by the grace of Allah, have been given life to come to answer His call today. Fas'a'u ila dhikrillah. Hurry or hasten to the remembrance of Allah. We, by the grace of Allah, are one community, one ummah, ummatin wahida. We are one nation, one community, and we are bound as one by our belief and our duty. Our belief in Allah, our duty for Allah, and our duty to one another. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. Now, what this means, brothers and sisters, as we have discussed in our last khutbah, we mentioned we would have part 2 this week. We mentioned an ayah that is extremely important for the believer to remember. It is in Surah 4, verse 1, where Allah Ta'ala establishes that we have relationships that are built on our duty, our taqwa, our regard for Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And these relationships are called arham. Relationships meaning being tied to a womb, a single mother. For in this ayah, Allah Ta'ala teaches us that we have come from one single essence. Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Therefore we demand rights. Allah demands rights between the Father, the Son and the father, mother, daughter. All aspects of relationships within family and within community, there are laws and rules by which we are governing our duty. The governing factor of La ilaha illallah, that there is no God but Allah. This is a maxim. This is a principle. This is a foundation, that there is no God but God, the God. We have stated in the previous khutbah that the word Allah in Arabic means God, but not that simple. Al, the God. Al-Illah, the deity, the idol, worthy only of worship.
Right.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
This is what binds the Muslim, that we are not slaves to anyone, no man. We are slaves, Abdullah. We are servants of Allah. Now we, as we mentioned last week, as a people have an issue with this word slave, because this word slave was used to take us out of the worship of the one true God into the worship of a false white God.
Right.
What do we mean? Close your eyes and picture Jesus, peace be on him. Our brothers and sisters across the planet, it does not matter where you come from. Google God. What will you see but white people? This is called white supremacy.
Right.
It is an idol.
Yeah.
And it is something that must be destroyed within the hearts of all humanity. For white supremacy has become the idol of this hour. If it is not destroyed, it will be the fall of humanity, as it was the fall of Adam.
Takbir.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Why do we say the fall of Adam? Particularly the fall of Iblis, who became Shaitan. Right? It wasn't just Adam who was stated in the Quran, get ye out of this state. It wasn't just Adam. It was him, man. Satan. What does that make Adam in that circumstance? Let us think about what we have been given as revelation. We, brothers and sisters, have mentioned that the word Iblis comes from balasa or ablasa, which means one who has lost hope. One who then finds themselves in a character that is deplorable or bad to be around because they have lost hope. That sounds like the South Side. That sounds like the West Side. It sounds like some of our homes. Brothers and sisters, we are at a time where La ilaha illallah, that there is no God but Allah. And we've mentioned the range of interpretation in this statement. La ilaha illallah. There is no God except Allah. There is no God but Allah. But this word illah, it also means there is no God, only God. Only. What is this pointing to? Allah Ta'ala gives us in the Quran, Surah 112, Surah Al-Ikhlas, which means the purity of faith. Meaning that if this surah is not digested and understood thoroughly by the believer in Islam, our faith is impure. This is for the mukhlis, for the one who has sought to purify their heart of all idolatry. All idolatry. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. Brothers and sisters, that means the idol worshippers of the White House. That means the idol worshippers of Beyonce. That means the idol worshippers of any object that will take you away from the devotion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is a form of idolatry.